Oh, hey guys, Dave from Dave Builds It. I'm sorry, I was just enjoying my Goya premium sardines with tomato sauce, and these damn things are good. Strange though, they were flying off the shelves at the grocery store. It's almost like something has drawn attention to them lately. I'm not really sure what that could be. Replacing a camshaft position sensor on a 2011 Nissan Xterra, or a second generation Nissan Xterra. It's really not that hard. I'm serious, really. It's not. But it is a pain in the ass. So my 2011 Nissan Xterra, it's rocking about 125,000 miles, and it's been solid. I have no intentions to get a new vehicle anytime soon. However, in recent months, it developed an issue where it would have a rough idle. I'd start it up, and it'd rev up really high, and then almost cut off, and then it would rev back up again, and I would have to shut it off, crank it back up again to resolve the issue. Did some research, really couldn't find a solid answer. I even reached out to Scotty Kilmer because, man, he knows everything. He just sent me back a reply that he was leaving YouTube and a picture of a laughing jackass. So I decided to pick up a cheap ODB2. So I picked up a cheap ODB2 scanner from Amazon. And I would put a link in the description, but Amazon's really pissing me off right now with the affiliate links. So just go buy one from your local, one of your local stores. Support your local people. Screw Jeff Bezos. So I connected the scanner and pulled a P0340 code. That's the camshaft position A circuit bank 1 sensor. It's the one that is a pain in the ass to change, but it's not hard, and it's something you can do in a relatively short period of time. And all you really need is a new camshaft position sensor and a 10mm socket, and a lot of patience, and probably some alcohol. And the only pain about changing the sensor is really it's just not visible while you're working on it. You're feeling around with your hands, you're in an uncomfortable position, but once you figure out where it is and get a feel for it, it's actually pretty easy. Now I want you to pay attention here though, because there's a very distinct sound when you pull it out. You need to be aware of this for when you put it back in. Alright, so there it is. It's a noticeable click. You can feel it. You can feel the tension when you pull it out. You can feel it pop out. And when you put it back in, it has to pop in the same way.
The tip it's the worst part. Trust me on this.
Inhale as you do it.
And this is where I screwed up. So otherwise, you just rotate it a half turn to the right, and it should slide out pretty easily. The connector itself was really easy for me. I'll push the tab down, pull the cam sensor right out. You may need to use a screwdriver. You may need to hold a tab down with your thumb and use a screwdriver to kind of pry the sensor out. It wasn't a problem in my case. And the new sensor looked like the old sensor, except it had a big fat new O-ring on it. I didn't want to seat the sensor until I had lined it to hold for the screw. So my goal was to start the screw and then seat it properly. And just in this process, I forgot to seat it. As I was tightening the screw, I was thinking to myself, it only took a few turns to loosen the screw. Why is it taking so long to tighten it back up? And it just didn't dawn on me that I hadn't seated the sensor. So I took a few minutes to clean the connector before I reconnected it. I just used the CRC electrical connector cleaner. You can get it at any auto parts store. And that was it. It was only about 15 to 20 minutes start to finish with this. And again, the only problem I had was that I created my own problem by not seating the cam sensor. When I fired the truck up and went driving around the block, about 2 miles in, it shut off, and I barely was able to get it to crank back up. So when I got it back home, I actually watched the video again. And this is one good thing about having a YouTube channel, is that when you video this, you can actually go back and review your work. And when I watched the video, I realized I didn't seat the sensor. So I loosened the sensor up. I made sure I seated it correctly where you get that good, popping sound. And started back up, did a little test drive, and that's been over a month ago, and I haven't had any issues since. So again, it wasn't hard, but it was a pain, but it probably saved me $100 or more in labor cost. And believe me, if I can do this, you can do it too. Thanks for watching.